One of my favorite short horror stories of all time is The Monkey's Paw by W. Jacobs. If you've never read it, I won't give it away, but the story reminds us to be careful what we wish for. A quick side plug. You can listen to my narration of the story in episode 96 of The Red Treehouse. Within a minute of reading today's story, A Flounder's Feast, written by Marlin, I immediately smiled because it's a terrific and creative play on the original classic. Instead of giving it away, I'm going to introduce you to Brick by way of his bio. Marlin has had novels published by Whiskey Creek Press, Seven Star Press LLC, and Hydra Publications, as well as short stories published on webzines. His last story, The Rep, was published by Wild Blood Press in 2021, and his latest novels, The Zafner Phase, a fast-paced young adult sci-fi thriller, was released in July 2025, and Sectors, a young adult horror sci-fi fantasy tale with a nod to Ray Bradbury and Rod Serling, was published this month. If he's not working his full-time job at UPS, he's spending time with his lovely wife, or writing, reading, or training for triathlons. You can find his profile on Goodreads, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and TikTok. I think you're going to love this story, and I'm thrilled to narrate it for you. So sit back, turn down the lights, pull up the covers, turn up the volume, and pay close attention as I narrate A Flounder's Feast, written by Marlin. I'm Will, and you're listening to Midnight Horror Stories. A Flounder's Feast, written by Marlin. There once was a fisherman who had a wife. They lived in the part of town where bug-infested apartments were owned by landlords who cared about nothing except receiving a monthly paycheck from the tenants. Streets and dark alleys where one never ventured out alone at night, or sometimes during the day. The wages of the fisherman were never good. Hard work on the docks rarely paid off. His wife was no help with the finances. She had long decided to be a stay-at-home mom. Only problem was, she had also decided she did not want children. Trying to convince this woman to stop spending money was, well, a thing of the past. You know, Henry, the wife reminded him on more than one occasion. If you worked harder, your boss would pay you more so that we could leave this miserable hole you've allowed us to be stuck in. We should live like the upper class and live in a far better home. I am a hard worker, dear, the fisherman responded. He wasn't lying. I can't control what my boss pays his employees. I can't demand a raise. It doesn't work like that. Watch your tone, mister. The wife shook a finger. Even though the fisherman did not raise his voice, the wife always reminded him of who was in charge. The only hard work you excel in is not working. I've asked you time and time again to repair this leak. You come home every day from work and sit on your butt. I'm surprised our couch isn't tired of your lazy ass. Time and time again, Henry had called the landlord about the hole in the ceiling, and each time only got voicemail. Henry knew it wasn't his job to fix anything that was broken in the apartment. That was the owner's responsibility. Heck, it could cause a breach in their lease and cause more problems. One day, while Henry was off work, he decided to treat himself, leaving the nagging woman behind, and go fishing at a pond not too far away. Growing up, his dad always took him fishing, and Henry had always enjoyed it. While he fished, he could clear his head and just relax. No job to be at, no foreman griping at him, No wife aggravating him about some silly leak in the ceiling. After about a half an hour, Henry caught a fish, a good-sized flounder. When he slid the hook out of its mouth, it pleaded, "Please, sir, spare me and don't kill me." Stunned, he dropped it. Fish don't talk. This one does. How is that possible? Long ago, I made a witch very mad and she cast a spell which made me into this creature. That's awful, but there's no such thing as witches. That's only make-believe. Not in this world. I come from a different place where everything evil lurks in the shadows, especially witches. I see. Not wanting to believe it, much less believe he was having a conversation with what could be his dinner tonight. You have to believe me. Henry frowned. What would I get in return for throwing you back in the water? Any wish you'd like. Any wish? Yes. Henry pondered, and not for very long. I'd like a new house for me and my wife. It is done. When you go home, your wife will be pleased. He dropped the flounder in the pond and returned home. He was shocked. His old apartment building had been redeveloped into new houses that lined the street. Even the store on the corner had been upgraded to fit the area. People who strolled up and down the sidewalk looked far from creepy or homeless. Henry opened his front door and found his wife standing in the middle of the living room. "What happened?" she asked. "Am I dreaming?" He assured her she was not, and told her his story about the flounder. Her eyes were huge. "Henry, go back and ask for a new car. We can't live in this new house and drive that old Pacer. What would the neighbors think? Who cares what they think? I do. Go back and ask for a new car right this minute." "But why can't I do it tomorrow? It's getting late." "Are you crazy? Get another wish while it's fresh on that fish's brain. He might not do it tomorrow." "Look, Dora, it's my only day off and I wish to eat dinner and relax." Dora huffed. "Okay then, sure, go ahead and do what you want. But if you want me to fix dinner, that's out of the question. You'll just have to eat cereal. And by the way, the only milk we have in this house is powdered. I know you don't know your way around the kitchen. So good luck with that." 15 minutes later, Henry stood in front of the pond. Hey, Flounder, are you out there?" "I'm here." It stuck its head out of the water. "What is it?" "I'd like another wish." "Sure. What would you like?" "A new car." "It is done." The flounder swam away. When Henry walked back to his Pacer, it had turned into an SUV. He loved the drive home. Much smoother. He didn't have to worry about the engine overheating or backfiring or the radio not working or all the black smoke that flowed from the exhaust. "Oh, Henry, this is nice," Dora said, running her hand over the interior. "I think we should go out to eat tonight." "We don't have any money, dear." Dora eyed him. "Well, what are you standing there for? Go back and ask your fish friend for money." "I'm not sure if that's a good idea." Dora leaned in close. "Remember what I said earlier? Add that to no clean house ever again." "Mr. Flounder, are you out there?" The water pooled and the flounder appeared as before. "What is it now?" "Look, I gotta level with you. My wife is putting me up to this. I was more than happy for the new house and the new SUV. Now she wants me to ask you for money. I can do that." "Great. However, I have a small favor to ask in return." "You got it. Anything." "As you know, this isn't the best pond around. The water is dark and the small fish I eat are scarce. In return for your request, I need fresh fish to eat." "Of course," Henry nodded. "I could, buy some from the pet store." "Excellent. I'll be back in an hour. And when you return home, you will see money in your bank account." And after the exchange was done, "Henry, look how much we have." Henry couldn't believe his eyes. Their online bank account had 6 digits. "We're rich!" Dora exclaimed and jumped up and down. "Woohoo!" She even punched the air. "I'm able to quit my job," Henry raved. Dora stopped celebrating. "Are you crazy? Do you want people to think you're a bum? Our neighbors will freak out. No man of mine will look like that. No, you keep working." "But I'm not that far away from retirement. With this kind of money, we can invest it and live off the interest." "You are missing the point." Dora shook her head in disgust. "Why I married you, I'll never know. You are so naive, Henry. You have an IQ as big as an acorn. If people noticed you quit your job, they'll think we won the lottery." "We sorta did, dear." "Then they'll want to borrow money from us. We don't share our stuff with anyone, Henry. No, you will continue to work, and that is that. End of story." The next day, after a long and grueling 8-hour shift on the docks, Henry was confronted as soon as he entered his house. "Guess what?" Dora said. "Yes, dear. I've been thinking about something all day." "What's that?" "Go back to your fish friend and wish for a closet full of new clothes." "For me?" Henry looked down at his own attire. "No, for me. I need expensive furs and coats." Henry scratched his head. "Dora, we have enough money to purchase a factory full of fur coats. Why should we buy them when you can wish for them? That doesn't make any sense. Neither do you, and here you are, standing here when you should already be in the SUV and heading back to the pond to ask your fish friend for my fur coat." "What is it now?" "It's my wife again. She wants a closet full of new clothes and fur coats. With all that money, you could buy her that. I told her. She doesn't want to spend the money." The flounder shook its head. "All right. She will have her closet full of new clothes and furs. But you must do something for me." "More fish to eat?" "Actually, I've grown tired of it. I need something bigger." "Bigger? Like what?" "Surprise me." An hour later, Henry brought a cage full of live chickens. "Ah, wise choice," the flounder said with a smile. When Henry got home, Dora was running around the house wearing a fur coat. "I love it! I love it, Henry!" She ran up to him and Henry grinned and stretched out his arms. Then she ran past him, detouring around the couch and upstairs, back to her closet of gems. We'll continue right after this quick ad break.
Welcome to a new era of baseball's great spectacle, the T-Mobile Home Run Derby, live on Netflix. The biggest sluggers in baseball put their talents to the test on All-Star Weekend. Raw power meets star power. Big swagger meets bigger slams. And you don't swing to make contact. You swing to make history. Watch the T-Mobile Home Run Derby live on Netflix, Monday, July 13th at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific.
The next day, Henry returned from another long day at work to find his wife sitting at the kitchen table, scrolling through her phone. "I've decided I need an SUV too. Go ask that fish for one." "Dora," he sat his lunchbox down. "I'm beat. I need a shower, food, and a good night's sleep. I'll go down there this weekend." "Nonsense. You go down there this instant or you won't get dinner." "Wait, what's that I smell?" "Your favorite dish, lasagna." "You made me lasagna?" "Of course." "Oh, dear, that was so nice. You haven't made that for me in a long, long time." "I know." "Let me eat first." He started into the kitchen and she was out of the chair in a flash. "Nope." She poked him in the chest with her finger. "Not until you go and ask for my new SUV." "I'm hungry. I hardly had time to eat lunch." "So? Not my problem. If you don't leave now, you won't get a second to eat lasagna. I'll throw it out." "What?" "You heard me. Think I won't? I'll launch that pan into the trash in the blink of an eye. Now go. Let me guess, the Flounder said. Another closet full of new clothes. Not exactly. She wants her own SUV. That wife of yours is impossible. I know. The Flounder sighed. Okay, it's done. Thank you. However, I need more food. I'll go get more chickens and be right back. No more chickens. I need something bigger. Like what? Surprise me. Henry drove to another part of town and found a stray cat and a stray dog. It took time to trap them, along with bites and scratches. Good man, the Flounder said. Henry opened the door to the cage and shoved it into the pond and quickly ran back to his vehicle. He had no interest hearing a dog or cat dying. When he got home, "Look at my new ride, Henry. It looks more expensive than yours." Dora laughed. "I'm going for a test drive. Be back shortly." While Dora enjoyed herself, Henry sat down and ate lasagna. By now it was cold. He didn't care. He was starving. Dora didn't return until midnight, and by then Henry was sound asleep. The next morning, Henry walked into the kitchen to get coffee. "You know what we need, Henry?" "Oh boy, here it comes. Our own private plane." "What for?" "To fly anywhere we want, stupid. Sometimes I really wonder about you, Henry. You're so naive." Instead of trying to make sense of why they needed a private plane, Henry didn't argue and drove back to the pond. "A plane? She's nuts, Henry. Truly nuts. You really should file for divorce and get away from her." "If I do, there's probably no one out there for me. Look at me. I'm 60 years old, overweight and unhealthy." "Oh, there's someone out there for you. Take my word for it." "What, are you going to wish me another wife?" "No, I can't create another person. I don't have that ability." "Oh. So I'll give you her, the plane, and in return, bring me more food. Bigger ones." "Bigger than a dog or cat?" "Yes." "How much bigger?" "Surprise me." The Flounder grinned. Henry knew what he had to do, and he did not like it one bit. He drove around until he found a homeless man sleeping on a park bench. He noticed a fast food restaurant 3 blocks down. "How would you like a meal?" He approached the guy and asked. At first, the guy was hesitant. "It's no trick. I'll buy you food." The guy agreed and slipped into Henry's vehicle. He was as frail and as thin as a telephone pole. Once Henry bought the sack of food and a drink, the homeless man thanked him. Henry started back toward the pond. "Where are we going?" the guy asked. "Oh, I thought you might like some fresh air and nice scenery while you eat your meal." The guy grunted. "Sounds mighty fine." Henry parked and told the guy to follow him. They reached the pond, and Henry explained this was his favorite spot. Said he loved to fish here on his days off and how peaceful it was to be away from the city. The guy nodded, thanking Henry again for the food and his kind generosity. While the guy observed the view, Henry walked a few paces behind the man and with a running start, knocked the old guy into the water. Henry was surprised how easy it was. The guy was furious. "What'd you do that for? Get me out of here." "Oh, I was just trying to be funny. Pushing someone in the water isn't funny. Come on, help me out." Henry grabbed hold of the guy's hand, but didn't make much effort to pull him free. "I ought to punch you in the mouth for that." "I was just kidding around." The guy fumed. "Pull harder. Get me out of here." "I'm trying. Not trying hard enough. Get off me. I'll do it myself." He made it to the shore. Henry looked back at the pond. No sign of the Flounder. He couldn't go home without Dora's wish. Just couldn't. He started after the homeless guy, tackling him to the ground. What the hell are you doing? Henry got the best of him and grabbed his leg and pulled. Get off me! He dragged him into the water. Flounder, where are you? The guy started fighting, trying to get away. Henry dragged him further into the pond and shoved him under. The guy fought, his fingernails scraping Henry's face. The whole ordeal didn't last long. Henry was left holding a corpse. He had never killed someone before. Feelings of fear, guilt, and despair ran through his veins. There was movement behind him. Ah, I see you brought me more food. Where were you? I called for you. I was taking a nap. I had to kill this guy. I see that. The flounder grinned. I don't kill people. Now you do. Don't worry about it. You'll be fine. The cops will break down my door. I'll go to jail. No, you won't. Not if I eat the evidence. Calm down. You'll be fine. I'll take it from here. You go on home. Dora has her private plane. And sure enough, she did. The next afternoon, Henry returned home from work. He had had a great day. His boss gave him a raise and praised him for his dedication to his job. Never in all the 10 years done that. He even allowed Henry to leave early to celebrate. Dora, I'm home. He walked through the house and into the kitchen. Dora, you here? Her SUV was parked outside, so she had to be here. You wouldn't believe what happened at work today. I got a raise. He heard something above his head. Movement upstairs. He opened the door to their bedroom. Dora, what's all this? I'm packing my bags. To go where? Since I have a private plane, I'm taking a trip. Where? As far away from you as possible. What? Are you going somewhere? I've hired a pilot to fly me out of the country. I'm leaving you, Henry. I want a divorce. What? Why? Because I don't love you anymore. You are a terrible husband. But I've provided a roof over your head and food in the cabinets. You mean before you met your fish friend? You stuck us in the worst part of town. We couldn't afford much of anything. It's by luck you got those wishes. Look at us now, though. We're living large. I got you all the things you wished. I didn't get a wish for a new husband, did I? I'll find that on my own. And, by the way, I'm taking all of our money. You can't do that. Yes, I can. I'll have enough money to hire the best lawyer in town. You'll probably be stuck with some schmuck of one who couldn't find his way out of the courtroom. Dora chuckled. Anyways, she grabbed her bag. Get out of my way. I'm leaving. Henry started to fume. No, you can't leave. Or what? You gonna hit me, Henry? Go ahead and try. I'll sue your ass off for that. She moved past him. Have a good life, Henry. He followed her to the top of the stairs, and she turned her head to say more, when her foot missed a step, and she lost her balance, tumbled end over end, crashing at the bottom. Henry ran down and tried to help her up, but she was gone. She had broken her neck. Time passed. Henry could only sit there, holding his dead wife's head in his lap. Calling the cops would not be good. He had only one other option. What is this? Do you need another wish? No, Henry told the flounder. This is a bonus for you. He held the body up. Dora, this is Flounder. Flounder, meet Dora. This is Dora. She is a beautiful woman. Don't let the looks fool you. She's evil. He threw her into the water and she sunk. Was evil. Thank you, Henry. I believe a reward is in order. No, I'm done. All I want is to go home and be alone. Alone? A handsome man like you? Nonsense. Allow me to show my appreciation of all of what you have done for me. That was all because of Dora. She made me do all those things. Killing animals. Killing a person. Then her. If you remember correctly, you caught me and threw me back so I could live. How about I give you a reward like no other? I insist." Henry shrugged. "Okay, fine. What could you give me that I don't already have? I am the wealthiest man around and can retire from work and live a great life. Right now, I'm happy." "As so you should be. But I have a reward we can both share. This will make us both happy." "Both?" "See, the witch cast a spell on me for a reason." The flounder started growing. "A long time ago, I lived in a small village and was young and beautiful. All the boys wished to marry me. When I chose the one I wished to be with, we were wed in a matter of days. The shape of the fish became tall and slender, and 2 arms with hands grew from both sides. My new husband and I had a great life from the start. Then bad things began to happen. Our small vegetable garden died. The chickens we had were slaughtered. The fish was no longer a fish. Long legs and bare feet carried a new shape out of the water. Our only cow was mutilated, so our food supply dwindled to nothing in 2 days' time. Even our apple tree in the yard, the apples turned black." Henry couldn't believe his eyes. The shape before him was astounding. "We didn't know why this terrible thing was happening to us. The flounder's face had turned into the most beautiful woman Henry had ever set eyes on. Her long brown hair draped across her shoulders, not hiding much of her nakedness. By the end of that week, we found out why. The man I was married to had a mother who was a witch. She already had a marriage planned for him. See, she had been gone when me and Taylor got married. She was searching for a princess to wed her son. She wanted the best for him. Plus, she wished to be the richest in all the land." The beautiful woman stepped close to Henry. "When she found out about me, well, she was furious. She changed me into a flounder. The only thing that could break the spell was the death of a man's wife who he loved with all his heart, no matter how bad the wife treated him." She grabbed Henry's hands and pulled him into her. "So, my dear Henry, who you see standing before you is your reward." Looking deep into this woman's eyes, Henry could not resist. They were the brightest blue he had ever seen. Her skin was as soft as silk. Her hair was long and luxurious and soft. He wasted not a second longer and kissed her deeply. Wonderful thoughts scattered across his brain. He had been happy a few minutes ago. Now he was ecstatic. It was love at first sight, and a warm feeling covered him from head to toe. "This is what happiness is really like," he thought. "I wish to be like this forever and ever." Time seemed to flow along. Henry felt like he was high on a cloud. He felt as if he could fly like a bird. More and more warm feelings raced through his flesh and veins, and when he finally pulled away, he was in the pond. Confused, he looked all around him. What the? The woman's finger pressed against his lips. "Shh. Relax, my dear Henry. Our love will be forever." And then her face twisted. Blue eyes became pitch black. Her mouth stretched wide. Her soft lips and soft tongue, the ones Henry had savored, were now rough and ravenous. Her wicked smile revealed in row upon row of razor-sharp teeth. What? Did I not mention that my mom, poor thing, God's rest her soul, was a succubus? It wouldn't be right for me to break the bloodline, now would it, my dear Henry? Her mouth grew wider as she devoured her last meal of the day, noticing yet another fisherman approaching the shore as she scarfed down Henry. What did you think of A Flounder's Feast? Comment on Spotify and let's talk about it. A huge thank you to Brick Marlin for submitting this terrific and creative story. Be sure to follow him on Instagram and Threads at marlin.brick. And be sure to follow Midnight Horror Stories wherever you stream podcasts and on Instagram at Midnight Horror Podcast. Thanks for listening to Midnight Horror Stories. See you next episode.